Hello and welcome. I'm Rahul, and you're watching me on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, Alpha Talk Show. And if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. I always come up with new ideas and try to inform you of latest development, whatever is happening in the real world. Because if we want to survive in a better way, we have to be relevant and competent for each and every opportunity that comes our way. And that is why I always iterate that you keep yourself someone who can have opportunities, keep honing your skills, keep listening to new videos and new podcasts which amplifies your knowledge, keep reading all those books, self-help books as well, which can augment your capacity, because it is important that we be relevant in this fast-paced world, and after the advent of AI, the world is going to change rapidly, especially in information areas, many a person who will be adept in making more content, proliferating it with the help of AI and giving it a constructive output, they will be able to make more money and they will be able to make their position in the competent market, because they will understand exactly how to use AI for their advantage, how to increase their productivity, how to proliferate their content, and they will be able to make their position stronger. And why not we should keep ourselves, stronger in that field as well. But some kind of metaphysical ability that I always talk about is more essential. Today I'll be talking about what is the difference between real negative energy and positive ones, how it operates, what are the differences between it. Have you ever think that negative energy is not a dumb one? Negative people are not dumb one, especially if you think of in metaphysical and spiritual realm. All these energies are very, very cunning and very subtle and manipulative. you know they will manipulate with all kinds of actions, and this is what some people have learned recently, even 5 or 9 minutes before someone tried to do that. So think of that, how subtly, if a negative person always trying to amplify his strong holding in negative realm, they will do such kind of things. What is their learning? This is the only difference. And who will be positive? They will be sharp, they will be also incisive, but they will be pure like gold. They will be filled with anger, and anger will be really positive one. Sometimes they will be filled with anger, and their patience is also immeasurable. Their patience is really good. They will slightly, and very occasionally, they will become angry. Otherwise, what happens? They keep their calmness and composure very well. But these negative energies knows how to conspire against them, and that is what they do. So what is your thinking? Do you want to be someone who can be manipulative, who can be learning new techniques, how to manipulate others, how to create obstacles in other paths? Or would you go together with those person who want to foster relationship, and bondness for positive ascension? They want to foster good, uh, you know homogeneous thought, or who want to foster, camaraderie between people, camaraderie and all kind of benevolence and all kind of humility that they want to bring. And because little gesture can affect somebody to think in a positive way, to be constructive. It can amplify their ability. Such is the power of positiveness, such is the power of truth. Do you understand? So don't think that negative energy is a dumb one, it always try to kill you, or always try to, act like a goon. No, it never happens. In spiritual realm, negative energy is very, very, cunning, very, very adept, very, very manipulative. But you have to be incisive one in order to, counter them. Otherwise, you cannot. So this happens. This is what is the your examination of your own talent, test of your own incisiveness. Because if you are not an adept one, if you're not astute, what will happen? You will think that this all is happening because God is doing in your life. We try to attribute it to God. Don't think that way. Think incisively. Yeah, God is very powerful. Sometimes, if you pray, if you meditate, you will feel his energy. It is really amplifying and very constructive. Don't think that enemies are not there. They are manipulative, they are fabricating the instances in your life, and you have to be vigilant. Yeah, God always helps you, he is very giving, but don't think that he is bringing all this chaos in your life. Maybe you are being tested, but he is not the one who always brought and brings all these things. Never ever curse any God, or never ever attribute negative things to God. God is very pure. You have to think differently. When you walk on the path of ascension, you'll feel that how these negative energies are very cunning, how they manipulate, how they act on your body, on your mind, on your spirit, in your people, in your surroundings. How your existence caused them to react. And how they manipulate their concerns, their concern here, and that is what is all the game that you have to understand. It is very subtle but very understanding. I am here to guide you for many a times. Yeah, but I'm also human. Many a times I have patience. I have to go through and I have to show a lot of resilience that I really persevere. I try to go through that, but we are still humans. We have our own emotions, and that is why sometimes it surfaces. When it will surface, no, there isn't. Darkness will try to prevail. The agents will work at that very time. They will strike, and with fabrication, with manipulative words, this is what will happen. They try to divert all your assistants. And this is what will happen. And this happens in real world. That is what you have to aware of. Yeah, if you are a true warrior, if you are a true seeker, you have to go through a lot of pain and perseverance, but I will tell you that in the end you will win, because you have something important that you don't even recognize. And if you want to recognize that power, you have to believe. Faith is the only thing that will lead you, but many challenges is there. Try to clarify. If you are going to towards someone, who is that person? Who, if you are questioning an idol, is he really God or something else? Who is God? First of all, you have to know what is God. If universe is intelligently designed, does it have any power? Who is that person who can act like a god, and why you are attributing everything negative to him? Don't attribute negative to them. He is pure. You'll understand exactly. When you walk the path of ascension, you will understand exactly that whatever is happening, it is happening for your good. And everywhere the manipulative power works. They are everywhere conspiring against you 24 into 7, wherever you are. They are keeping an eye on you, negative forces. What can you say? Do you think consciousness, wealth can be defined in a human body on a certain codes, living in like an AI code in a chip which is very minuscule? If you will talk about its volume, code's volume is very minuscule. If the consciousness can exist there in terms of artificial general intelligence, AGI, though large language model, AI doesn't have its own consciousness as it says, but no one knows how consciousness arises and what is its real foundation. In a silicon chip, if consciousness could be installed, suppose artificial general intelligence, people are talking about, scientists are talking about that it could have consciousness, if it can reside in a minuscule. So how can you define the consciousness is only in the human body? No. And think of nature. If it would have designed, it has many ways to store consciousness in different realms that our physics, our science even has not even detected until now, but many people have experience. Experience is where you will have to understand, and you have to make a perception of that. You have to contemplate, and you have to bring certain structure of that, your own uh, conception, or whatever you say, you have to build based on that. It will not be perfect, because it is not defined by science or not validated by science. The science is still working on quantum level. It is still the search, the exploration. It has not the end, and it has not come until the point that it can explore and can give answers to each and every question. And that is what you have to understand. Sometimes experience gives you very deep insight, and based on that, you have to evolve. And once you'll foster the real growth in your life, you'll understand how much it is essential that we keep ourselves grounded, keep ourselves strong, keep our faith strong in God, and work on ourselves to amplify our knowledge. Don't think about a person who is agnostic or who is not believing in God. He would be bad. No, it would not be right. He may have his own understanding, his own doctrines, his own principle of thought, and he is still in a way to explore all these things. So everyone has their own perception. Whereas I know, many people who are agnostic, who are, we can say that, a little bit of a taste, they are better in terms of behavior, in terms of their demeanor, in terms of their cognitive ability, in terms of their perception. They are really better. When you interact, all they need a little bit of faith. And once they go through all this taste of universe, they also realize that in the end, because life is something that gives you always knowledge. You cannot be a stop on certain principles. Your principle may be changing over the period of time. You have to adapt, you have to assimilate new ones, and you have to let go the past ones. This is what is life, learning all the time. And if incarnation happens, suppose it gives you multiple times of the cycles of life to understand exactly and to get free, to find freedom of life, freedom of consciousness, whatever you say, freedom from the life cycle, whatever exists. So that is what I want to tell you, that you have to foster your belief system, and you have to be competent as well. Try to bring rational thing at one place, irrational or metaphysical at one place. Everything you have to distinguish, and you should not seem a delusional. If you are giving any argument, try to validate it with your knowledge. Then people will understand exactly that the person who is talking in front of you, he is really knowledgeable, or whatever point he is telling, he has certain points. That's why he is telling you. You have to explore. You have to accumulate certain knowledge. But once you go through, you'll certainly understand. And that's why I treat that you should listen to good podcast all the time. If you are listening to me continuously for 6 months, then you will be really good, knowledgeable person. I guarantee that, because I have learned many skills through listening to podcasts and listening to online videos. And this is the only way nowadays to accumulate more knowledge. People, days are gone when they were reading much textbooks. Yeah, now the video lectures are available, and many people find ecstasy in listening to videos. So this is changing. Try to foster reality for yourself. Try to be a better version of yourself each and every day, and try to pay heed to all the events that is happening around you. Be aware of that, and be someone who can make his livelihood better. Support yourself and make your financial wealth, in every way. If you can hone your skills and be adept for each and every opportunity, that will be the first thing. But don't forget about metaphysical assumption as well. If you'll focus there, your life will be also changed. Thank you for listening to me.